Once upon a time, Russia was huge, poor, and ruled by one very confused man. Welcome to the Tsar and his empire.
Half the planet's land, half the planet's problems. 5,000 miles of frozen dirt, 144 million patients test subjects, 11 time zones, all late. Paperwork that could bury Siberia.
Millions of peasants, working hard, earning nothing, and freezing for free. Yes, it's a lifestyle choice if the choice is no choice at all. Peasants, everywhere. Try not to trip.
Meet Nicholas II. Polite, indecisive, and about to ruin everything. First he loses a war to Japan, then a revolution at home, and when he tries giving the people a parliament, it barely helps. By World War I, Russia's on fire.
The people asked for bread and got bullets instead. In the mighty, miserly empire, every hunger strike gets a firing line. Breakfast is served, lead side up.
Industrialization. Factories appeared. So did pollution, strikes, and sadness.
When life gives you poverty, make vodka. Lots of vodka. Distill it, bottle it, flog it at the market, export it to anyone with a wallet, and by nightfall, hey presto, instant party fuel and a...
The Tsar promised freedom, then realized, wait, that sounds dangerous. So the shiny new reform, straight into the fire. Across the empire, hope sparked. The Tsar, however, responded with a very...
While Europe built railroads, Russia built more snow.
Rich, fancy, and completely useless. While the people outside fight for bread, these folks fight to stay awake between sips of imported tea. All wealth, no work, noble...
Peasants started reading Karl Marx, which is basically a countdown timer. Once you open it, the revolt clock starts ticking, and good luck snuffing that fuse.
The army had guns, no food, no morale, but hey, nice hats. So they started trading rifles for loaves of bread. Same range, way tastier. Now they face a well-fed enemy armed...
5. People rose up. The Tsar said, "Aw, cute." Then crushed them. 1905 mini. Revolution? Blocked.
See? Nicholas made a constitution and immediately forgot about it.
Russia was a ticking time bomb, and the Tsar was busy winding the clock. 1905. Russia finally snapped. And it was messy. Farmers with pitchforks, factory hands with nothing to lose, storming the Winter Palace like it owes them rent. Tsar's regime bleeds.
They came for peace. They left with holes.
The Tsar signed freedom and then deleted it like a tweet. One moment, rights for all. The next, oops, never mind. October Manifesto. More like October maybe.
Russia got a parliament. It lasted longer than Nicholas's attention span. Deputies shouted, "Papers flew!" and then the floor literally fell out from under them. The new State Duma could pass laws, sure, right after the Emperor stamped them for approval like a bored club.
Industrial boom. Strikes. And more strikes.
Russia versus Japan. Spoiler, it didn't go well. The Russians sailed halfway around the planet to pick a fight. Japan answered with a torpedo, a battleship, or 12, and the phrase, "Please leave." A year later, the Russians had lost.
Farmers rebelled, soldiers mutinied, and Nicholas took a nap. While half the empire was on fire, the Tsar was out cold, drooling on the upholstery. Revolts everywhere. Royal attention?
Drunk wizard walks into the royal palace and stays forever. Meet Rasputin, part mystic, part potty trick, all beard. 1 minute he's hypnotizing with those glow stick eyes, the next he's...
The Tsarina trusted Rasputin more than her own government. Ministers groaned, treaties stalled, and Russia's leadership came to greet a bearded mystic in a purple robe. What could possibly go wrong?
They poisoned him, shot him, drowned him. He called it Tuesday.
Nothing boosts a dying empire like a massive war it can't win. In 1914, the Russian Empire dives headfirst into World War I, tearing itself apart faster than its own flag. They mobilized 12 million...
Soldiers had no food, no boots, no hope, but plenty of mud. Winter 1917. Ration count, 0. Morale, somewhere under the sludge. Victory, first...
Russia lost armies faster than it could print excuses. Every time a front collapsed, the map and the press both got a workout. Boom, there goes another division. Boom, another headline about strategic withdrawals. By the time the ink dried, so had the army.
Back home, no bread, no coal, no Tsar who listened. No bread, no coal, no Tsar who listened.
By 1917, Russia was done waiting. Revolution was next.
During 1917, Russia's coldest winter and hottest tempers. Workers and soldiers flood Petrograd, torches blazing, chanting for bread, peace, and the Tsar's resignation. The spark begins.
People didn't want luxury. They wanted bread. And, if the budget allowed, maybe shoes. So they marched, loaves held high, chanting the world's least glamorous slogan, bread, peace. When the cops start marching with the crowd, game over.
Factories stopped. Workers marched. The empire froze.
Nicholas heard about the riots and sent flowers. While Petrograd burned, his royal solution was a bouquet and a note signed warmly, Nicky.
Even the army said, yeah, we're out.
Train stopped, phones broke, Russia glitched like a bad video game. Icons crashed, pixels fled, and every screen went oops at once. Chaos everywhere.
The Parliament finally did something. After 12 years of naps, a unanimous vote, papers signed, and... shock! Legislation actually passed. Don't all clap at once, folks.
Nicholas abdicated. Just like that, 300 years gone. One signature on a railway carriage table, and the Romanov dynasty evaporated into the Siberian snow. 3 centuries of autocracy traded for a stamp.
He boarded a train, but there was no empire left to rule. Just faded crests, empty track, and a timetable that ends in question marks. Beyond the last station is nothing but wind, snow, and whatever waits in the...
Temporary, confused, doomed. They run the country while balancing hot coffee, slippery paperwork, and each other's egos. Kerov signs everything until his pen begs for mercy. Petrova hears 3 phone calls, all discussed.
2 governments, 1 country. What could go wrong? On one side, the Duma, polished, privileged, and convinced they're in charge. On the other, the Soviets, workers with megaphones and plenty of attitude.
Lenin's back from exile, and he's very, very ready to complain.
Comrades, everything is wrong. The war is pointless, the government is useless, the bread is terrible, don't even get me started on the trains.
Yeah, he's got to live.
Lenin shouted, "Peace, land, bread," and everyone went, "Yes!" 1917, Russia's revolution lights up Petrograd, and the spark returns.
The old empire crashed. The new one's downloading.
Lenin's back in Russia, and he's got Wi-Fi full of ideas. Fresh off the Finland Station Express, he uploads the hot take of 1917, the April Theses. Translation: forget half measures, go full revolution. Bread, peace, land, and if you don't like...
3 words. That's all it took. From freezing trenches, barren fields, and breadlines that never ended, these syllables hit like a snare drum. And suddenly, protests weren't...
Trotsky built an army from chaos and some really angry farmers. With a hammer, a plan, and a lot of shouting, he whipped peasants and former soldiers into something resembling order. Marching east to west, this patchwork force...
Lenin planned a takeover while everyone else was at lunch. November 1917, Petrograd. While the government was busy with soup of the day, he was drawing circles around the capital. And those quick doodles, they...
October 1917. Bolsheviks march, and Russia holds its breath. Red flags, bayonets, and a palace that should probably bolt its doors. Fast. Petrograd won't...
They stormed the palace, only to find confused guards and cold soup. Not exactly the revolution they rehearsed.
No explosions, no heroics, just paperwork and panic. Revolutionaries armed only with pens, sweating under flickering lights, waiting 6 to 8 weeks for permission to overthrow their oppressor. The uprising...
They took power, but nobody told the rest of Russia. So while the new boss in Moscow was busy polishing his chair, everyone else was, well, still on fire. Transfer complete? Sure.
Lenin promised utopia. Everyone clapped. Then reality happened.
The provisional government? Gone faster than a Snapchat story. One day they're in Petrograd, posing like they're in charge. Next day, poof, evaporated. And the streets are asking for receipts. Snap, just like that.
Red versus white. Russia's deadliest rematch begins. From frozen rail cars to fractured front lines, armies race across a nation already in pieces. One side fights for a revolution, the other for the old order.
Dilemma. Rebuild a nation or survive the chaos first. Lenin's desk says both. Plans for industry, railways, and food.
Step 1 of fixing. Seize the banks. Step 2, they fixing everything. Step 1 of fixing everything.
Peace turned to paranoia. The Red Terror had begun. A gunshot, a shadow, and suddenly trust was a luxury nobody could afford. From Moscow outward, fear rose.
The Tsars were gone. The Reds had won. But the story just starting.
It's 1918. Red versus white. No jerseys, just chaos. The Bolsheviks, whipped into shape by Trotsky's traveling armored pep talk machine versus the white armies, who agree on exactly one thing, disagreeing with each other.
Whites, reds, greens. Honestly, no one knew who was fighting who. Arrows crashed into arrows, then spun around to clobber their own teammates. Or were they enemies? Maps got so scribbled on, cartographers just started doodling question marks. Organised war?
Trotsky ran the war from a train with a typewriter. He'd roll into a hotspot, bang out orders, and fire them down the line before the ink dried. A one-man HQ on wheels, shouting strategy between steam whistles and lunch breaks. Absurd.
Fighting in -30, where guns jam, breath freezes, and even noses give up. Triggers stick, bolts squeal like angry door hinges, and your rifle grows its own stalactites. After a while, the only thing firing is your sinuses, and that's...
Britain, France, and Japan joined in. No one remembered why. So here they were, scratching their heads on a Russian map, trying to look purposeful while completely lost in someone else's civil war.
Every border caught fire. Russia basically rage quitted itself.
The Red Terror. To win, the Bolsheviks turned terror into policy. Red Terror hunts.
The whites ran out of ammo, allies, and hope, in that order. So, with nothing left but bad memories and an empty wall, they did the only thing they hadn't tried yet. They waved the literal...
By 1920, the Reds ruled everything worth ruling.
But 7 million dead later, victory felt a bit hollow.
Russia wasn't reborn, it was rebooted. From the wreckage of a superpower, they picked up the pieces, hit the power button, and started building all over again. Same land.
Lenin called it the NEP, capitalism, but shh, don't tell Karl Marx. In 1921, Russia's brand new Soviet Union was broke, so Lenin slipped some market magic back into the toolkit. Private trade, small business, a little farming.
1922. Russia got a new name and a new attitude. Union of Soviet Socialist Republics was born, and it certainly wanted everyone to know it.
Lenin's health failed. Stroke after stroke left him sidelined in Gorky, watching his own body betray the cause. But the gears he'd set in motion, they kept turning. His revolution didn't die with him.
As Lenin faded, someone else waited in the dark, and when the smoke cleared, Stalin stepped forward. The next power rises.